Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. Run it straight to the breakfast team Fridays from 8:20 a.m. when they tackle the toughest competition in town. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, head up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action. aucklandleague.co.nz.
Joined by head coach of the Ellerslie Eagles, Wade Brunson. Well, Wade, 2 losses and a victory to start the year. How do you rate the start?
I rate it probably about a C. The goal at the start of the year was to be consistent and not be the easy beats of Sharman like we were last year. So we stripped everything right back, and I think we're going to plan at the moment.
You mentioned obviously the improvements from last year. Obviously a rough year last year, finished bottom of the top tier, but big improvements in both defence and attack this year. You must be really happy with the progress.
Yeah, really happy with progress of defence. That's been our biggest work on over the summer and the winter. You can't win games unless you can tackle and know what you're doing in the tackle. So it's been our big work on. We've done nothing on attack, so I think that sort of showed last weekend. But if we can start improving on our attack, then we might start getting some wins.
Close one against Rewa last week. Didn't quite get there. What was the main takeaway from that one?
Just that our processes are working and we just got to trust in it. That's about it, really. Regardless of the loss, it wasn't about winning or losing for us. It was just making those little marginal goals of improvements, especially in the area of defence. And we're making those. I mean, last year we played Rewa, I think 4 times and lost 100 points each game. So to just lose is a testament to the boys trusting the process.
Still waiting on a famous name to pop up on your team list. Brent Webb obviously spent the pre-season with you. Are we going to see Brent in action over the next couple of weeks?
I'd hope so, but that's probably about as much as I'm going to get hopeful.
Darren Kingy, he missed all of last year pretty much for you guys, obviously away doing work-related stuff, but he's back, brings a real classy presence to the middle of the park for you guys. Yeah,
Kingy played the first game of last year before he headed off to Fireman's College, if that's what it is. He's come back, he's in better shape than ever and really enjoying his footy. So he's been a big plus, with the experience that he brings. It rubs off onto these young blokes that are out here busting their butt for the team, and they're learning what little things mean on the field.
Come up against Papatoetoe today, who have had a really rough start to the year, but a hurt team can be a dangerous one. What are you expecting from them?
I'm expecting a real physical game, especially up front. I know they lost by 100 last week, but if you put some context into it and you understand why, then you understand why they lost. And that's been explained to the boys. I know why they were short on numbers last week. So if anything to go on, we can turn around a 100-point loss in a couple of months. I'm sure they can in a week or two.
And the key for you guys today, obviously, it's wet conditions down here at Bert Henham Park. Is it all about completions and getting that right?
Yeah, that's what it is, Corey. It's all about completing sets, getting to our kick and trying to force a mistake. We don't want to overplay our hand. We just want to stick to the basics and grind them down, and try and get the W today.
Excellent. We'll let you get back to preparing your team. Wade, thanks for joining us. And we're now going to take a very short break before we bring in Mike Cudd from the Papatoetoe Panthers. And we now welcome in Mike Cudd from the Papatoetoe Panthers. Well, Mike, it's been a brutal start to the year for you guys, but plenty going on behind the scenes that sort of explains that. Just talk us through, I guess, some of the issues facing the top side right now.
Tough finish to last year's season, so getting players to come back and retain players has been a challenge. Getting just numbers at training and getting combinations going. So, yeah, it's been difficult, but a lot of that just relates to the boys' attitude and trying to change the culture.
In terms of the morale in the camp, obviously a big defeat last week. I mean, how is the sort of feeling in the camp and at training this week?
Big ups to Ponsonby. They really brought it to us, and I guess you get out of something what you put into it. We didn't put enough into it. Public apology to the reserves over there that we defaulted. And like I said, big ups to Ponsonby. They packed it on, and incredible host after the game too. Thanks for that.
You're without your skipper, Palu, and one of your better players today. How do you sort of make up for, I guess, his absence?
We go with what we got. We're hoping that Palu will come back, but we've got a core of players that have been committed. It's just changing the mindsets of the players that are lingering around the scene.
Ellerslie now, they've had 2 losses and a victory to start the year. What are you expecting from the Eagles today?
Yes, I work with Wade. I'm expecting they're going to bring it. Hopefully the conditions nullify it a little bit, but no, they're an exciting team. We played them pre-season and they get some good finish, and I think, like you said, they're going to try and grind us down, so we'll have to keep some gas at the end of the game.
You mentioned that you do work with Ellerslie coach Wade Brunston, so is there a little wager on this one, or just the bragging rights at the office enough?
Yeah, it'll be bragging rights at the office, I think.
Thanks for joining us, Mike. We'll let you go and finish warming your team up, and in the meantime we will take a very short break before we build towards kickoff. Good luck.
Thank you.
Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Rosser joined in commentary today, as always, by Troy Hardy. We're down here at a very wet Bert Henham Park for our round 4 Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup match. And Troy, well, on paper, it looks like a bit of a mismatch, I guess, when you look at the results that these two teams have had. But just looking around that Papatoetoe team, plenty of size about it.
Absolutely, and the boys are warming up well over there. The coach obviously spoke with a wee bit of confidence when he came in and had the preamble chat with you on the preview. And Ellerslie's got a wee bit of size as well, having a look at them on the far side.
Now a little look at some of the results from last week, round 3 of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup. And it was the Bay Roskill Vikings who got up for a great victory over the Otara Scorpions, 32-20. The Vikings sit undefeated at the top of the Sharman Cup ladder. And the Franklin Storm, the newcomers, Troy, 52-12 over the Hibiscus Coast. A really good vibe out there right now, and they're doing well under coach Jody Henry.
Yeah, absolutely, and they'll probably be a little bit surprised by that score as well. Hibiscus Coast, they're quite a fast team around the track, and so that's probably put the Franklin Storm in good stead, knowing that they've got a wee bit of pace themselves and keeping in touch.
Another of the newcomers, the Northern Brothers. Now that is an amalgamation of the Glenfield and East Coast Bays Club. They had a huge victory, 48-16 over the Manukau Magpies. Played some really good footy, did the Northern Brothers in that one. While out at Jack Colvin Park, there was a thriller, the Te Atatū Roosters getting up 18-16 over the Pakuranga Jaguars. Remembering Te Atatū back down in the second division after a year up in the top flight last year. Out at Lawson Park in West Auckland, the Mount Wellington Warriors sprung a bit of a surprise, 26-18 over the previously unbeaten Newland Stags. While the Ellerslie Eagles, well, they finished strong, 24-30. They lost to the Manurewa Marlins. I think Manurewa finishing that one with 11 men on the field with 2 in the sin bin for the last 10 minutes, so a bit of a nervous one there for the Marlins. While our live stream team today, the Papatoetoe Panthers, well, they were soundly beaten, 102-0. It's a scoreline that looks pretty ugly, and by all accounts, certainly a pretty terrible day at the office for the Papatoetoe team. But today is a new week, and with it, new optimism for this club. So that is your results from last week, ladies and gentlemen. And how that affects the ladder, well, as I mentioned in the preamble, it is the Bay Roskill Vikings who sit on top, undefeated, 3-3. They're joined by the Te Atatū Roosters. Following closely, a whole bunch of teams on 4 competition points. There's Ponsonby, Newland, the Franklin Storm. Who would have thought they would sit 5th on the competition ladder at the conclusion of the first 3 weeks? Northern Brothers, that victory lifting them to 6th position on the table, remembering they had the bye in round 1, while the Manukau Magpies and Manurewa Marlins are your remaining teams on 4 points. That rounds out your top 8 as well. Just outside there, 2 points back, the Pakuranga Jaguars with the 1 victory, Ellerslie Eagles with the 1 victory, Waitemata, the Otara Scorpions, and at the bottom, the only 2 teams yet to clock up a victory, the Hibiscus Coast and the Papatoetoe Panthers.
Well, thanks for all the detail there, Corey. If you've just joined us here, we're at Bert Henman, the home of the Otahuhu Leopards. A wee bit of a damp day out here, to say the least. There's the 5-minute warning, and the ground's in good stead though, Corey. They had a wee bit of work done during the summer month here, and this will be a beautiful ground to play rugby league on. If you've just joined us, welcome in around the South Pacific. We're going out through Pacifica TV, and to all the island nations out there, I know that there'll be a number of members playing, not just in the Crown Lift Sharman Cup game, but also on the SAS Fox, which will follow at 2:30 today with a preamble on that, build-up, starting at 2 p.m.
Now a look at some of the other action going on across Auckland in the second division today outside of our game here at Bert Hennon Park. There are some big clashes on the cards with a couple of meetings of South Auckland heavyweights. Really headlines it in many respects. The Manurewa Marlins heading across to Ngāti Otara Park to take on the Scorpions. That'll be a great one. Bay Roskill Vikings, they face the Manukau Magpies. Now Bay Roskill, they'd lost a few really quality players over the off-season. Leela Vaivai, one to really highlight there. But they've got Ben Henry there, Troy. They've got Jerome Ropati as well, two pretty handy players to have in the halves. And we saw them in action last week. A very quick team, but also pretty well structured.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're not small either. They had a wee bit of size in their forward pack. And if you've missed that game, the replays are available to everybody on the ARL TV YouTube site, and you can get to that through aucklandleague.co.nz.
Other action going on across Auckland today. Waitemata are host to Northern Brothers. Northern Brothers looking to pick up their second victory since coming into the Premiership. Hibiscus Coast Raiders play host to the Ponsonby Ponies, while the Mount Wellington Warriors take on the Franklin Storm. Pakadanga versus Newland. Now that Shakes is a good one. Two teams who have made a pretty positive start to the year. Interesting to see what's happening there. Certainly good things are happening for the Newland Stags under coach Dave McDermott out there at Lawson Park. Of course, people who have watched the College Rugby League competition over the last few years would have seen him leading Kelston Boys High School a few years ago. He's now involved in the program at St Paul's there, and certainly a good rugby league mind. The Te Aroha Roosters, they have the bye this week. They're going pretty well as well, undefeated at the top, so they will remain undefeated for at least another week. The Te Aroha Roosters sitting this one out. So that is what is happening around the grounds, ladies and gentlemen, as we build towards kickoff here. And our Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup live stream match. It's our third second division live stream of the year. Having earlier in the year brought you a couple of really good games. We had a great one last week with the Bay Roskill Vikings taking on the Otara Scorpions. The conditions today, Troy, you would think pretty much guarantee this one's going to be a game that's won or lost in the middle of the park.
Correct, and I think both coaches touched on it. You know, this is going to be about back-to-back sets being completed. Short ball game. I don't think we're going to see a lot of wide cutout passes missing the back line out to the winger on the burst. However, it will play into probably Papatoetoe's hands just in regards to, getting into the grind, and it'll be interesting to see how Ellerslie man up today. One of the things you touched on there, Corey, was the heads up around the College Rugby League. College Rugby League has kicked off, and that's sponsored by SAS Sporting Apparel. And a wee bit deeper into the season, we'll be bringing you also College Rugby League matches, courtesy of aucklandleague.co.nz.
Yeah, very much looking forward to getting back into the secondary school action. Of course, it's where it all started from a live streaming point of view, so we'll be bringing you some awesome clashes throughout that competition. They're always exciting games, and a couple of funny scorelines in round one, Troy. One that I probably didn't expect. Kelston getting up 4 points to 2 over Mount Albert Grammar. Not a scoreline typical of schoolboy rugby league, I dare say. Yeah,
and it was one I managed to miss. But if I'd known earlier, I would have definitely got down to see that clash. They're normally, great tussles between those two schools. And, you're right. It was an obscure scoreline, and must have been a tough tussle, that one.
Yeah, and some interesting coaches leading those two teams as well. For Kelston, well, Phil Gordon has stepped aside, and in the hot seat is Francis Malley, of course, the New Zealand Warriors great. Played for the Kiwis and Toa Samoa over the years as well. Had a great career in England as well. Francis back doing a bit of coaching here in Auckland, linked up with the Glenora Bears, and he's doing a lot of work through his job with the New Zealand Police as well, sort of, I guess, helping out young people within Auckland. So great to see Francis involved there, and no doubt just having that experience there, hugely beneficial for those guys. And then on the opposite side of the field, Jason Williams, who is coaching the Marist Saints this year, he's leading Mount Albert Grammar. Now, Jason as well has NRL experience, vastly experienced regional coach as well, so great to see those guys back and helping out on the local Auckland club scene. So do stay tuned for College Rugby League action as we build towards the middle of the year. and we will have all the results for those every Thursday morning. They'll be up on our website, aucklandleague.co.nz. A couple of big events coming up as well. The Auckland Premier team taking on the Tonga New Zealand residents. Now that one is going down on June 2 over Queen's birthday weekend at Mount Smart Stadium, number 1, the big game. Tickets gone on sale for that this week and already selling fast, so do get in there, secure your place. It should be a wonderful game. The first time Tonga have played in Auckland since Mate Mata Tonga's stunning run at the World Cup last year, Troy, and I dare say the Tongans will be out in force to support their team as well.
Absolutely, and if if you haven't got anything on June 2, get down there. It's going to be a fantastic game. We're going to start hearing from the very first captain of Tonga. You may have seen some of those videos going out through the Auckland Rugby League Facebook page, Mick Curran, and he spoke passionately about what it meant to him to be, part of that Tongan team, and he's also the official sponsor. So big shout out to Upright Access, and we caught up with Dwayne Mann. And it's named after the family, the Mann Cup, and there's a lot of passion around that. They talk to as the godfather of Tongan Rugby League, George Mann. So a lot of respect there as the referees just chirped on the whistle. Along with Donny Mann, a big legend of the game, Carlo Park diehard legend. Got to throw that one in there, Corey. And of course Dwayne himself, who by no mean feat, played for Auckland, played for Tonga, and he's now coaching. So he's bringing a lot of passion to it as well, mate.
Yeah, that's right, and the Mann family obviously incredible servants of the local game over the years, both in New Zealand and Tonga. Dwayne himself, a 3-time winner of the Fox Memorial Premiership with Glenora, and a vastly experienced coach as well. He's graduating on to the New Zealand Warriors for a time there and spent a lot of time there. Now back at Kelston Boys High School, I believe, doing some good things there as well. So really looking forward to that one. But the thing that struck me, Troy, the interview with Mick Curran and to an extent speaking to Dwayne as well, the passion these guys still feel for Tonga and what they achieved back in those days, it's still very raw for them.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of heritage, rolled into, I guess, their parents, and what it meant from the passion that they had for the game, especially with the following that you've seen, just with the World Cup that went off. The supporters, they get right in behind it, the sea of red and white flags that come, to all of the matches. And I don't see June 2 being any different in regards to, the grassroots following for the Tongans that are going to turn up on the day, which is going to be a hard match going up against the Auckland team, which we're bringing back. And I'm really proud to see that. Yeah,
absolutely. The Auckland team has, it's featured on and off over the last few years, but they've been sporadic games, so it's going to be great to get that back. The plan is to make this an ongoing thing, which I think is fantastic. Obviously, just recognising the close links between the two games. Obviously, Auckland and Tonga, in a rugby league sense, have been closely linked for so many years now. So it's going to be wonderful to see them get together and play what should be a really good game. We can see the Ellerslie boys just going through a last-minute prayer, it looks like, there before kick-off in this one. We are about 2 minutes away from getting underway here. Our referee today in the middle of the park is Nathan Barker-Pringle. Now, Nathan, he's had a big year so far, Troy. He's graduated to do some Jersey Flag action and a little bit of ISP, Intrust Super Premiership. A young referee doing big things in Auckland.
Absolutely, and really good to see. I feel like over the last probably 3 or 4 seasons, we've kind of grown up with him. And, he's been to a number of our matches, where he was running the sideline. He's now got the centre today. So big kudos to him and to their family. They love rugby league. They're heavily involved with the ARL as volunteers. And, without that passion to all of the volunteers, we love what you do. And half of what the Auckland Rugby League, try to deliver wouldn't be possible without their effort and support.
Absolutely, and of course, if you are interested in becoming an Auckland referee, arlrefs.co.nz, all the details available on aucklandleague.co.nz. We will have a nice feature article on Nathan Barker-Pringle in the next edition of the League Lens e-newsletter, so do keep an eye on that one as well. You can subscribe on our website. So the two teams now making their way onto the field. We'll now bring up the team lists and run you through how they will take the field today. Starting with the Papatoetoe Panthers. And at the back, it is Alex Winterstein. He is also the captain. On the wings, Junior Sulpala and Winterstein. Tosini and Toimoala are the centres. Tianaki and Strickland in the halves. Matapa, Schuster and Pakilani are the front row. And in the back row, on the edges, Carver and Toimoala, with Ngati locking the scrum. And on the bench, Pea, Ilinanai, Kennedy and Levi. That rounds out your bench for the Papatoetoe Panthers. And for the home team, the Ellerslie Eagle, well, the away team technically today, although it's just down the road, Michael Joe is the fullback on the wings, Filimoni and Tua And the centres, Tuaiti and Moala. In the halves, McLeod Crump joins Taylor. Manukia is the number 8. He's joined by Sione Tua, who will wear 11 but start in the front row. Darren Kingi is the hooker and the captain, vastly experienced domestic player who adds plenty to this Ellerslie Eagles team. And in the back row, Lee, Tapuelieli and Tamapau, with Joe Savita, Henry Pay, Vaipulu and Tom Malonga on the bench. So those are how your two teams will take the field today. You can see referee Barker Pringle just going through the final instructions there. But Shapes is a big game for Papatoetoe, Troy. I think if you go down in this one, it is certainly a very long road back if you're going to make something of your season. So a big game for them, even if they aren't to get the victory, to build some confidence for next week.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a big game in the sense of a physical game. This is mental for them. And, you know, to come back from last week's effort, you heard the coach, you know, in the build-up, you know, he's looking to them to, you know, bring it today, and they'll be looking for a wee bit of redemption. Ellerslie, however, will want to be, you know, carrying on the momentum that they have, and they believe they're contenders this year. They're looking to try and make the top 4. So I think we're in for big things, and let's hope there's going to be a great battle today, Corey.
Absolutely, and a remarkable turnaround in many respects for Ellerslie. You know, they finished last in the top tier last year, really didn't fire a shot, and so they've been playing some really good footy to start this year under coach Wade Brunsden, with our very own TJ Ashford helping out as well there. So great to see the Ellerslie Eagles having a little bit of success this year. Of course, Mount Wellington Warriors returning to the competition this year as well. So rugby league strong in the east when you factor in Pakuranga and Howick as well taking part. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, round 4 of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup, and it will be the Papatoetoe Panthers with first use of the ball. Reeled in there by Pakilani.
Big shout out to our live streaming partners, Ctas, bringing you these images around the world as Papatoetoe start to grind out from inside their 20.
Yeah, and great to see our coverage now going right around the Pacific as well, Troy. We're in Tonga, Samoa, pretty much all of the Pacific Island nations. So it's awesome to see, spreading the game over there. We know they love their rugby league. They held the Jason Tormalolo Cup recently, and we had a number of our referees actually go over and help out with that. They said the standard was fantastic.
Great break here, Corey.
Nice covering tackle, though, and I think that good scramble across, bundles them into touch. But as you mentioned, Troy, good to see Papatoetoe go wide early, try and test those edges.
Yeah, and, you know, certainly a few metres eaten up there. It's a shame that the ball was spilt as the scrum is getting ready to be set.
We touched on it pre-match with Coach Wade Brunsden. We know that Brent Webb spent the pre-season with this team. Still unsure if or when Brent Webb will take the field, but boy, that experience has got to be huge, particularly for, I guess, the halves and the fullback, Troy, given Brent Webb was a fullback, and just, I guess, the way he would be able to read the game and pass that on.
Absolutely, and he still looks in good nick. He came to the Auckland Jets camp this year and took a couple of coaching sessions down there, and it was great to catch up with Brent. And, you know, that's just talent that's going to put them in, you know, a different class for the Ellerslie crew.
So 40 metres out from the line now. Ellerslie with their first use of the ball. They come back towards the middle. Lee, the captain. Slow play the ball. They go out the back door. They find Taylor. Late offload out the back. Joe's on the end of it. Taken down on a 2-man tackle. Last tackle coming up. And they're in good field position here, the Ellerslie Eagles. Kingi now jumps out of dummy half. Hands off out wide to Tormalonga, who was tackled on the last. So maybe just a little bit of a breakdown in communication there, Troy. Not sure the big fella was the ideal man for it on last play there.
Yeah. However, positive side, they completed a set. So I think that's the first one since kickoff. And let's see the Panthers and what they can do as they start agreeing. Could grind it outside their 20. As you can see, viewers, a little bit wet down here today at Bird Henman at the home of the Otahu Leopards. Ground, however, is firm, and it might be a little bit slippery on top, but we should see, you know, a wee bit of movement around the grounds outside of a slippery ball, Corey.
brought through some good juniors over the years have Papatoetoe. Thomas Luluai probably at the forefront of that one. Spent some time at the club as well as down here at Otahuhu. And more recently, Ken Momalo, who, of course, is starring on the wing for the New Zealand Warriors, playing some great footy this year, is Momalo. He played a bit of junior footy here as well as his, obviously, antics in the college competition with Southern Cross.
Good tidy up there as the Panthers try to get some shape on the defence line.
Sloppy play of the ball there, but Filimoni darts out a dummy half. Good little run there, takes him up to just short of halfway. Now Joe has a go as well, so the outside back's getting heavily involved there. Almost a bit of a nasty collision there as Joe slipped into the tackle. Tom Mailonga takes him forward to making good yardage here at Ellerslie. Kingy comes out to the right where Taylor hands it off. Moala, late offload at the line. That's a great offload. Papatoetoe coming across, but it's not going to be enough. And it is Salili Tua who will open the scoring out wide. He's taken a knock for his troubles there, but put it down to the fantastic offload there from Tua Moala. Let's take a look on the Crown Lift Trucks replay. See there, Taylor shifts play on.
Just, yeah, stood the defender up. He second-guessed him and brought him in. Created the opportunity out wide.
And it's a great offload, isn't it? Gets it around the corner there, and then from there, nice tidy finish by Tua, who gets caught a little high but goes over. Still down on back plate.
Yeah, I don't think there was any malice in it. The player was going down, and yes, whilst the defender was high, to a certain degree sort of fell into it, and hopefully he'll come good from that. And a special mention to the juggernaut of a forward, Viggo Rasmussen, who did a couple of cameo appearances for the Ellerslie Eagles, and we worked with Viggo, and he's out due to a dislocated shoulder for, I don't know how many times he's popped that shoulder, Corey.
Yeah, that's right. Had a rough run with the shoulders, so it remains to be seen if he'll take the field. He was actually captaining the side, I think, from the lock forward position at the time the injury happened. So by all accounts, recovering pretty nicely though. So no huge dramas there as we see the injured man in back plate back to his feet now. Long stoppage in play.
I'm sure his line manager, Andy Hay, will be advising him to go back to the whistle.
That's right. So it is going to be Hayden McLeod-Crump who attempts the conversion. Only 17 years of age. This kid played restricted grades last year for the Mount Albert Lions. Huge step up to go from restricted age grades, Troy, into this competition where there's some absolute monsters. I mean, some of the teams we've covered over the last 2 weeks, those middle forwards, yeah, particularly in the likes of the Otara Scorpions, some big boys out there.
Yeah, hopefully he's got speed as part of his weapon. Just but for a young fella, that's a pretty mean beard he's got there, Corey.
What he does have is a fantastic kicking game. He's converted from the sideline. And it is the Ellerslie Eagles 6, Papatoetoe Panthers 0, round 4 of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup. 6 minutes gone here at Bert Henham Park. And really, 2 uses of the ball. The Ellerslie Eagles will be happy with that. We're able to stroll down the field on that occasion, made good yardage. Some nice carries in there by Filimoni and Joe, which really got them on the front foot.
And if you're wanting to get a heads up before each of the live stream games, you can log on to the aucklandleague.co.nz website, and we've got an alert link there, and we can tell you 5 minutes before kickoff. Hit the link and you'll be watching the live stream brought to you by Ctas.
So brought in by Ellerslie
Help
now.
out, 20. Don't work on. 20's out.
Shoulder under the
Stay out,
ball.
20.
And inside the 10, so putting pressure on themselves here. Papatoetoe fresh off conceding a try. That time up in the face too quick on Tamapiao. And Kingy will kick for touch. Crowd starting to build down here at Bert Henham Park. Of course, most of the, a lot of the junior footy cancelled this morning, Troy. It really was raining pretty hard at stages this morning, and certainly plenty of wet grounds across Auckland.
Yeah, it's always a hassle with winter, Corey. It's the weather. Good settle. Straight into the D.
30 out from the line now. Kingy hands off to Manukia. former rugby union centre, his third year playing league. Kingy misses out the first, finds McLeod Crump. McLeod Crump goes to the line, wears a high shot for his trouble and then taking the ground. But poor discipline there from Papatoetoe, up way too high.
Yeah, the young fella shrugged it off, and here comes the quick tap.
Back into it they go.
Shifting to the edge, going right.
And Lee, with a little bit of work to do, skips his way through, and Billy Lee, the captain, scores out again in that right side corner. It was just too easy in the end. Skipped his way through, but Papatoetoe, they shot themselves in the foot that time. 2 penalties, allowed Ellerslie to march down there, and then from there, too classy on the edges. Let's take a look at the replay. We see the ball come out to this right edge again. Taylor involved, just holds that ball up just long enough there, sucks the defender in. And then from there, Lee finds his way over the line.
And if you've just joined us here today, ladies and gentlemen, this is the curtain raiser match to the main event today at 2:30 here at the home of the Leopards. And we'll be seeing a fantastic clash with Otahu up against Mount Albert. And there's certainly an interesting backstory on all of that. John Ackland, the head coach of Otahu, has his son playing at Mount Albert. And a legend family from Otahu being the Ropatis. Big shout out to John Rapati. His son Rory's playing in Mount Albert, and I don't know how much more complexity we can roll around that, Corey.
It's like a family reunion. But it's going to be interesting seeing young Aidan Ackland. We haven't seen a lot of him in the Fox over the last 2 years. He's been playing mostly up in the 20s with the New Zealand Warriors, of course in the Jersey Flag system this year. So it's going to be interesting to see. He's going to be playing dummy half at this stage. Seen him used mostly as a number 6 at higher levels. I'm not sure, obviously, John Ackland coaching against his son, I'm not sure if he'll be looking forward to it or dreading. It'll certainly be a question that we ask him in the pre-match interview, but always a tricky one. We've seen Nathan Cleary and Ivan Cleary sort of comment on it over the last few weeks. They played each other for the first time this year. Ivan said it was certainly a pretty weird experience.
Yeah, absolutely. I managed to get a couple of texts from John during the week, and he was saying that Marie Ackland, his wife, was a little bit frazzled. So big shout out to the Ackland family, and it'll be interesting to see how they go. And best of luck to both teams. I think we're going to be in for a fantastic game of football. So please come back and join us on the live link, courtesy of Ctas, giving you the live stream, brought to you by Auckland Rugby League.
So McLeod Crump to attempt the conversion. Again, a long gap between the try being scored and the conversion there.
Looking good, we're up.
And he's on target again, so good start off the boot for the young fella. As the Ellerslie Eagles 12, Papatoetoe Panthers 0. 10 minutes gone here at Bert Hennon Park, round 4 of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup.
Same way?
So Papatoetoe, well, need a good defensive set here. You almost wonder in these conditions, Troy, do you drive the kickoff down low and try and find touch? They're going to go high. It's brought in by Taylor.
Off the ball now, 13. Make me here. Hold.
Some of the players to come through this Ellerslie Eagles set up over the years. Well, probably the most famous one in modern times, Kieran Foran. Brother Liam Foran played some footy at the club before heading over to Australia. And Kieran actually spent some time with the club last year, helping them out while he was with the Warriors.
Off the leg.
Adding some insight there. Always good to see the NRL players coming back and giving back to their local clubs.
Well, from my perspective, mate, the old Carlo Park diehards, Kenny Sterling, a legend of the game, and also big Lindsay Proctor. And hopefully he'll be watching the live stream today, and welcome aboard, gentlemen.
And of course, you mentioned those two players, Troy. Ellerslie were a real heavyweight of the Auckland League scene back then, of course. So we see a kick take a little deflection there. Papatoetoe clean it up. So a better set there from the Panthers defensively. Need to complete now, get out of trouble. There's a nice carry.
Off the ball now, no.
Straight into Darren Kingy.
Oh, yeah. Hold. Hold. Okay, please.
One of the things here they'll be looking to do, is, at least from the coach's perspective, is to make sure they complete their set of 6.
Go, 3.
Outside backs now coming in looking for a little bit of work. Good carry earlier by Toi Moala. That time by the other Toi Moala. A couple of brothers in this Papatoetoe team. Jumps out of dummy half. Kick from inside.
Not a
Doesn't look
bad
like
one
it's going to
either.
get too close to the sideline, but it's going to turn them round. Joe picks it up and runs it straight back there. He's met head on by Toi Moala. 30 off the line. Brave carry from Joe.
Nice dart from the dummy half.
He's got some wheels on him, Filimoni. Family links to Tongan sprinters who have completed at the Commonwealth Games. Saw some footage of him the other day striding away. Certainly a man to watch if he gets into the clear. Tamapau, 45 off the line. Kingy goes out the back door to McLeod Crump, who dinks a little kick in over the top. The chase is pretty good here. Need to be careful, Papatoetoe. That is an excellent kick there. Great vision from young McLeod Crump. Spotted the winger was up there. Papatoetoe now will start this set 10 metres off the line. Good game management from the young Ellerslie half.
Back on the line, boys.
And if you just joined us out the back there in field number 2, we've got some Mount Albert Lions stretching out.
The Fox reserve game getting underway out there pretty soon. Otahu going pretty well in the reserve competition as well. It's been a great start to the year for them since coming back up.
Yeah, John was saying their head coach, he managed to keep a number of the young roster from last year, and that will certainly, put them in good space for what they're trying to achieve in 2018.
So drop ball, not what they needed, the Panthers. Manukia picks it up, and Ellerslie are back on the attack. They come out towards this right edge now. Straight and hard as Lee. Straight and hard as Lee. He's going to go all the way. What a run there from the captain. Gets it. Pins the ears back and says, I'm going all the way, boys.
Let's have a look at that one. Here's the replay from Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup. They were shaping up, sort of indicating they were going to go right. And from a standing start, he put the turbojets on, went through the first, second, third, just managed to get a hold of a jersey and let go. And the fourth one rode him on his back of his ankles as he slid in next to the SAS upright, and not a bad try.
Here we are.
We sort of talked at the build-up to this match. Massive game coming up. Auckland Rugby League up against Tongan New Zealand resident side on June 2 at Mount Smart Stadium. Those tickets are available now online at ticketet.co.nz, and come and join us on Queen's Birthday weekend. It's going to be a fabulous day out, Corey, and a little bit around the curtain raiser as we wait for the kick to come.
Yeah, that's right. Auckland Māori taking on the Toa Samoa Invitational Under 20 as McLeod Crump converts from in front.
Keep it up, guys.
And that'd be a pretty strong, robust game too.
Yeah, look, I think there'll be a fair bit of, I dare say, SAS Fox Memorial Premiership talent in there as well. So many young players now playing in the Fox as well as the Sharman. So I think it'll be a really good game, but it's just great to see these teams get an opportunity to play something meaningful mid-year. Of course, it's so important these days that young players, I guess, are exposed to that culture and the setup of those teams. It makes such a difference if they do graduate to the older levels. They need to have an identity. So very much looking forward to that one, and seeing the Auckland team back is obviously going to be a real highlight. So Papatoetoe to get us back underway. 3 converted tries, the difference so far. And they're beating the scoreboard at this point, the Ellerslie Eagles. Great carry forward there. A little bit of a bobble, and they've forced the error, Papatoetoe, so credit where it's due. Douglas Levi, who has come up with the contact to force the error. So their best opportunity of the game now.
One step back.
What can they do with it, Papatoetoe?
One step back.
They get a try from here, it'll certainly bring some confidence, mate.
Head it, head it. When you're ready, mate.
It's a few big boys there, they're all set, away they go.
So the captain, Winterstein,
Off the ball now, one.
27-year-old, named in the 3 but plays at fullback.
Okay, one's out. Stay out now, one.
Jump out of dummy half via
Clear, hold.
Ili Nanai.
Go.
Solid carry forward there.
Off the leg now.
With
Don't work,
Toimoala.
Hold the line. Hold. Go.
5 out from the line. Sloppy play the ball. The pass is even worse out of dummy half. Hospital one, but it's scooped up by Chris Ferretti.
Make the line. Go 4.
Papatoetoe now, they shuffle play on. They've got numbers out here on the edge. If they go there, not sure the dummy was the go.
Still 4.
It looked like they had the advantage.
Last tackle.
McLeod Crump
Make me here. Back here.
ragdolls him to the ground. Last tackle coming up now for the Panthers. Kick across field off the boot of Sopala, which is spilt.
Easy, easy, easy. Not far. Up here, let's go.
And
It's
it
a
looks
great-
like back-to-back sets coming up here for the Panthers.
Great outcome for the Papatoetoe Panthers on that, and hopefully they get some, build on a wee bit of pressure here. And don't leave us at half time. We've got a highlight package of last week's games that both Corey and I were at. Pointilea Pirates up against Northcote, and there was also the Otara game, which turned out to be a pretty good match versus Bay Roskill.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely. We were sport last weekend, really, weren't we? It was pretty dodgy conditions, but I thought both games were pretty high quality.
Hold. Out.
So
Here we go.
Papatoetoe now, back on the ball.
Up now, 13.
Dart out of dummy
Make the
half by
line.
Nutty.
Don't work him.
9 out from the line. Schuster is the dummy half. Shuffles play on. They centralise via Sopala,
Up now,
right in front of the
13. Make
SAS
line.
uprights. Kingy there, calling the shots in defence, calling blokes out. But it's another penalty here, so discipline
Okay, wait.
in the last few minutes becoming a little bit of an issue here for Ellerslie. Tap and go is the call. Schuster hands it off. Pinaki to the fresh man on the field. Asif Khan.
Now, together. Don't creep forward. Go. One.
Schuster goes down the short side. Winterstein looking for a gap. There's none there.
No markers.
Gets to the play the ball. Schuster. Staggered line here for Ellerslie. Great up defence.
2.
Offloaders away. Winterstein now into a gap. Winterstein, one to beat.
Release the
Great
man
defensive
outside.
work there from the Ellerslie Eagles. Tuaiti on that occasion.
Go. 3.
Thrown plenty at them here, Papatoetoe, but Ellerslie haven't answered to everything so far. Schuster
Go. That's 4.
back towards the middle of the park, centralises things. The dummy, the big fella on the inside. There's space out here wide.
Beat him up.
Not a bad tackle, ball and all.
And they're going to get tackled on it. So really just lacking direction there, weren't they, Papatoetoe Panthers? It looked like they were sort of unsure whether to go to the edge or stick to the middle of the park. And in the end there, probably an opportunity gone big in there. Toimoala gets out wide. Looked like he had his winger unmarked, but instead they hold the ball. And they dial on it on last tackle. So good defence, Ellerslie Eagles. First time they've really been tested on their line, Troy.
Absolutely, I think the coaching staff will be happy with that. And some nice little break.
Off the leg.
Good crowd too down here sideline. People out.
And there's an unfortunate error there from King. He sort of lost track of the ball there through the legs. But a knock-on is the result.
Just saying, good crowd down sideline. There's a few people coming down to support out here in the weather, and number of umbrellas out, but enjoying the local footy here. And if you have nothing on this afternoon, come down. Big match at 2:30. As game of the round for the SAS Fox Memorial will be Mount Albert Lions up against the Otahu Leopards, and we're at the home of the Leopards, and it's shaping up to be a fantastic match.
Hold.
You can see just behind the camera shot there, the Otahu faithful up on the deck under the cover there.
Here we are.
Of course, they're here every Saturday and Sunday.
The Leopards corporate box.
That's right. I don't know what you have to do to get a ticket to up there, but it looks drier than where we are at this stage. Schuster now Comes out towards the right edge. That's a strong carry there by Douglas Levi, who's just short of the line. Ellerslie again, admirable on their line. Back towards the middle of the park they come. Strickland heads out towards the left. Tainaki.
Up now, 11.
Great passage of play here by the Panthers.
Grade 4.
Strickland on the ball. Dummies. Goes short at the line. But they get there in numbers, the Eagles. This is impressive stuff, especially on the big fella there at short range. Tainaki dribbles a little kick in behind, cleaned up at the back by Kingy, who offloads. That's a brave play. And in the end,
Great
McLeod
D.
Crump will be trapped in goal. But this is good work from Papatoetoe, Troy. Prolonged. Couple of sets down on the line here and good kick chase there.
Absolutely, yeah. I think they're going to take a lot of out, especially the last 3 sets they've been down here. They've been camped in the territory, and well, 2 things are coming out of this. Papatoetoe will be building confidence off this, mate, and I think the coaching staff for Ellerslie will be happy with the effort that's been going on whilst they've scrambled on the defence line down there. And Ellerslie now looking to get well out of their half with a good long kick. Here come the Panthers again. Can they maintain the pressure?
Off the legs now. Let him up. Hold.
So Kennedy hands off. Great carry forward there by Levi.
He's had a couple of them so far. Doing his job well.
Schuster jumps out of dummy half. Looks energetic. Does the little number 9.
Off the legs. Up now, 9.
Khan there with a good carry. A former Otahu who leopard himself. Schuster shuffles left. Big cutout pass over the top. They want to go to this left edge. Toi Moala. Held up in the tackle. Heads back in field. And it's going to be a penalty there for obstruction. So they've shot themselves in the foot there, the Papatoetoe side. We're really building nice pressure there, but the obstruction call comes from referee Barker Pringle, and the Ellerslie Eagles, well, they get a big tick for their first time having to defend up against their own line. It was 3 or 4 sets they had to dodge there as Kingy kicks for touch.
Well, for the old-time watchers, the obstruction in our day was the shepherd. Bit of shepherding going on there. There's a few boys coming off the bench here from Panthers side of things, warming up. Looks like an interchange going on.
They're fresh legs on the park in the shake of Eli Nanai. 40 metres off the line now.
So Matt's just given the instruction, the number 15 running on. Spark him up, mate. Not a bad hit there.
Yeah, big contact in the middle of the park there. Right on halfway. Tamapiao, who's taken down. They play short.
Lost his leg. Straight up, Milton.
The rampaging mark, Tapueluelu. And they get the penalty at the end of it as well. And in his 2nd year of league, Tapueluelu, Ellerslie's Player of the Year at the ARL Awards last year.
It was a great passage of play there by the Papatoetoe Panthers, as Ellerslie finally now outside their half.
Wait for the contact.
So Kingy tap and go to Billy Lee.
Lost his leg. Play on.
You don't want to be holding off.
He's already scored 2 tries down that corridor. Powerful runner of the ball. Kingy now looks out the back door. They go short to the giant that is Simoni Vaipulu, the 18-year-old. Over the line. Is he down? We wait for confirmation from referee Barker Pringle, and he is indeed. So fantastic work there by Vaipulu. Let's take a look on the Crown Lift Trucks replay, because it was one of these ones where he got the ball. There was nothing much on at the start.
He shaped up, didn't he? He said, this is me. I'll take the first ball off the dummy half. And if you have a look, you know, he managed to get his arm. He looked like he was about to offload at one point. He had 2, 3 guys hanging off him. Thought better of it. There it is. He thought about it. No, I'll just keep wrestling with these half dozen. I'll do it myself.
It's almost unfair when he's stretching the ball out like that. He's almost twice the height of the nearest defender, but that is a fantastic carry and a good try there from Tapueluelu. Oh, my apologies, Vaipulu.
The attacking coach will have something to say about that, young TJ. He probably would have been the strategy behind that.
Just on, Big Simone apparently had an excellent pre-season with the club. Worked really hard, was in amongst everything, and perhaps paying off now, as McLeod Crump is going to attempt this conversion from in front. Been perfect off the boot today, and I don't think he'll be too troubled by this one.
Yeah, they've got a wee bit of talent, haven't they, Ellerslie, across the park, and a couple of strike weapons there, and I don't think the big fella will be kept in cotton wool as we get deeper into the season. Big thank you to the Otahu Leopards as the kick is successful for hosting us here today at Bert Henman. We want to thank their supporters, volunteers, and also the committee for, looking after us down here, Corey, at the home of the Leopards.
Yeah, always a great ground to come down and watch footy at. One of my favourite grounds, really, on a nice day when you got the hill there. Always get a pretty good crowd.
A lot of tradition here too. Some famous rugby league players out of here. Mark Graham, what a legend. MG's probably watching this in Australia, up there in Gladstone.
So time off as we wait for the ball. Papatoetoe will be appreciating the rest, I dare say. So about just under half an hour gone here at Burton Henham Park, and it is the Ellerslie Eagles firmly in control. Another great carry forward there, this time by big Mark Tapueluelu. Their middles really starting to come into their own here. Kingy hands off. Tamapau up over the 40. They're making 10 or 15 metres per carry right now, Ellerslie.
You'll see, I think there'll be another big carry shortly, and here it comes.
Big contact over the
Great
top.
tackle, though. Great tackle. Corey Strickland, around the ankles.
And he'd just about be the smallest man on the park, Strickland. So a brave effort. Kingy now jumps into dummy half. Kingy now spots the markers, not quite there. Great goal to the ground nicely in the end by Nutty. Back towards the middle of the park they come. McLeod Crump looks to the heavens. Tricky day to be a fullback. Pressure coming. And spills it. Ellerslie are going to get the ball back here. It was always going to be a hard one at the back there for Sopala. And in the end, Troy probably just guilty of looking up at the chase that was coming. And there were a few of them.
Probably heard the footsteps, they were that close to him.
So back-to-back sets coming up here for the Ellerslie Eagles.
Come on, bring it in.
McLeod Crump to feed the scrum. 10 metres off the line, almost right in front of the uprights.
Hold. That's out.
Tamapau spreads it wide to Joe. Joe goes out the line.
That's fine, that's fine.
Headgear comes off, taking the ground. Aggressive defence from Papatoetoe.
Go to space 15.
Kingy to big Simoni again. Kingy goes up the back. McLeod Crump, dummies.
And I think he is going to be awarded that one, Corey.
He's gone all the way indeed. And that is Sione Tua, who powers his way over. Take a look here on the replay.
Well, as we get ready for a quick play of the ball, he's a wee bit of a wrestle on here. They're shaping up. Dummied on the inside there. Thought we were going to drop it back on the inside. Looking to find the runner. Yep.
Scramble defence trying to get across there, but they just can't get there in time, can they? And he's too powerful from there.
Everyone trying to take him up around the chest, and he was close enough with momentum to carry him across the line, and he'll be happy with that. Big thank you to Crown Lift Trucks, the major sponsor of the Sharman Cup. Love your support. Acknowledgement to the Auckland Rugby League Board for making the live streams possible. Not bad, considering he lost a bit of ground
Even
there.
when he slips over, he gets it. So another good kick there from young McLeod Crump, who's having a fine game. particularly off the boot. He is perfect today. And Ellerslie Eagles continue to match it with the scoreboard here at Bert Henham Park.
Papatoetoe Panthers march back to the halfway, getting ready for the reset. I've only just caught up with you now on that one, Corey. And a little giggle to ourselves. Here come the Ellerslie Eagles.
Kapuelu takes it forward. Joe cleans it up. And it's been turned over here, so Papatoetoe, good work from the Panthers. Schuster to Tainaki. Comes back to the middle where Pakalani awaits. 20 out from the line. They come out towards this left edge. It's been their favourite edge to target today. Content to go short again. It's a very good run. Gets the offload out the back, but excellent last-ditch defence there by the Ellerslie Eagles. Hold him up over the line. Here's the barge over. And you're not going to stop him this time. Lovely work there by Womak Ilinanai, and the Papatoetoe Panthers are on the board.
Yeah, they're going to be wrapped with that one.
We take a look here. Well, they went very close here. It was only the desperation of the Ellerslie Eagles defence, but you can see there's 3 in the tackle. Taylor urgently calling his troops back, but they just weren't quite ready by the time it came to the play of the ball. And you're probably not going to stop him from there anyway. Big Ilinanai strolls on through, has the presence of mind to centre it up as well.
To be fair, he's probably not going to get an easier one.
So Strickland to attempt the conversion. About 6 minutes remaining here at Bert Henham Park. Strickland
Great
good
check.
off the boot as well. So finally a bit of a positive here for this Papatoetoe team. Have endured a torrid start to the year, but some real positives to come out of this one. That time, turn the ball over with physical defence and good enough to find points on the end of it. There's the Ellerslie Eagles 30, Papatoetoe Panthers 6 here in round 4 of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup.
And just as the boys are coming back to kick off, I'm absolutely astounded by how many people are down here today watching rugby league. The number 2 field with the reserves on, just about packed out over there. So it looks like it's going to be a big crowd here today for the main game, Corey, as the SAS Fox starts to shape up for live streaming at 2:30 today. Back to this match. Ellerslie kick off.
So the Panthers now with a bit of a spring in their step. What can they make of it? Pakalani is the first to carry. Very slow play the ball. Papatoetoe looking for a penalty. Nothing forthcoming. Time off the call, playing off the mark on that occasion. Time back on. It's a terrible play. What's going on here? Everyone's looking a little confused.
We're going to reset that and have a go again.
And that sort of resembles a mini mod game in some respects, doesn't it? But we're back into it. We get there eventually. 40 off the line now, Papatoetoe. Schuster is the dummy half. 29-year-old, previously with the Manyarewa Marlins. Taylor finishes off in the tackle.
Last tackle.
He's pinged them inside.
You're milking it.
Strickland plays at the line now. Last tackle it is. Winterstein now hands it off. They're into a little bit of space here. Papatoetoe. The kick comes back in on the inside. They're chasing, but the Ellerslie Eagles defence gets back. They clean it up.
It was a good kick and chase though. He was off balance when he put the kick through.
Still make contact.
And they compounded, unfortunately, with a penalty there, Papatoetoe. So
Shame.
Ellerslie
Fine.
get a piggyback out of their own end. McLeod Crump to kick for touch.
Watch the cameras. Just down inside there where the match manager's living.
Safe for another kick.
Here we are.
Welcoming all our viewers to Australia as well, going live across the big nation.
Up now, 6. Don't work him. Behold. Great one.
Big Simoni, again involved in the tackle. Got about his work nicely since being on the field. Tamapio. Ball is loose, and again they've forced a mistake there. So this Papatoetoe defense, give it some credit. They have caused a couple of turnovers here with just physical stuff in the tackle, and on that occasion, ball comes loose once again, looking to finish this half on a high.
I was having a look at some of our viewing stats, Corey. We've got fans in Yugoslavia watching the live stream across the United States of America and also up in the UK. So welcome aboard all of the viewers.
Hidden. With a touchy.
If you are from Yugoslavia and watching right now, send us a message, Facebook or Twitter. Let us know you're watching.
You should be in bed asleep.
That's right. Of course, the Auckland
Great
game,
run.
always very popular, particularly up in the north of England, Troy, isn't it? Given some of the wonderful Auckland players who have gone over there and become real cult heroes over the years.
Absolutely. And, you know, I dare say that there's a lot of family, friends, you know, especially the guys that have played in the clubs and, you know, moving overseas and what have you, and they love to, you know, certainly watch what's happening with the club and how they're performing, you know, no matter what premiership they're in.
One of the greats still working up there in Cumbria, Hytro Cassini. As you see there, fantastic tackle there by Lee. Rocks the ball loose, knock on each way. Was the advantage taken there? We're going to have to wait for referee Barker Pringle. I think it's going to be an Ellerslie ball at the end of it. So knock on both way, advantage not taken, will be an Ellerslie ball.
Scoreline was really all Ellerslie in the first part of this match, and you know, for the best part of at least 15 odd minutes, you know, Panthers have been down here inside their territory. Great run, and had mounted a wee bit of pressure, got a great try.
So not long left in the half here. They come out towards the left. This is a good carry from Joe at the back. Sits in passing touches so far today. McLeod Crump the dummy half. Heads down this left edge now. Tuaiti. Dances back in field. Filimoni. Pushed out of the way at dummy half now. Tamapiao. Centralizes. They're setting up for a set play here. Ellerslie, you would think. Down the right edge they come. Taylor. Ball has come loose again. Good defense. Papatoetoe. Siren goes in the background. That's all she wrote for the first half. And it is the Ellerslie Eagles 30, the Papatoetoe Panthers 6. At the conclusion of the first 40 minutes, do stay with us at half-time. We'll have a little catch-up from around the grounds. Back again in about 10 minutes' time for the second half here of the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup.
We need it.
Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, hit up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action. aucklandleague.co.nz.
As Lehman now takes it to the line. Lehman now, he stood them up with footwork. That is beautiful work. A A minute on from his 40-20 kick, the little number 7 says, I'll get the try as well, boys. Spin him around as well to ensure that slow play the ball. Ulu. Hands it off to Poimatangi, who's going to go close. Referee points to the spot and spins it out the back door. Chioneth Henry, he's going to go over. That is clever play there from the dummy half. Jono Ware, the presence of mind to just spin that ball out the back door there. Kelly feeds the scrum now. Blindside play. They're going to go down the left-hand edge now. Papatoetoe shows it up, goes himself. There's the try. Ware spins that ball wide now. Mamia goes to the line. Cutter puts Mackenzie Cutter through the gap. You're not going to stop him there. Had to call on players from everywhere. John O'Paul even joked pre-match that they'd invited all the players' neighbours to come and play today. Tafutu now straightens up.
Great run.
Oh, this is beautiful stuff here now. They come onto this left edge. There's space here. Vogel holds it up. Vogel's going to skin them on the outside. That's a great try. And it is Corey Vogel who finishes it off. So the Scorpions have fought valiantly today. All credit to them. It has been close for the majority. It's only late on that Bayrosk will have pulled away. Kalani takes the ball forward. That's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. So it is the Bayrosk Vikings who win this one, 32 points to 20. Makawi to Michael Key. He's going to go there. Michael Key stretches out and scores the opening try. Play short now. Tavita to Toitama. Ledger. Beautiful inside ball. Oliver Tomavavi. Champagne Rugby League. Point Chevalier. Vidalate spots up on the dummy half. Puts Kevin Arona through a gap. He's got support either side. Arona. Dummies. Holds it up. Ankle tap there. Was it or was it a trip? Doesn't matter. The promoted second phase. Oli Tomavavi plays it on. Francis Ledger's going to score in the corner. Latu to Seal. Seal goes out the back door. Quick hands from Tavita. Tavita's put Key into a gap. Oliver Tomavavi gets his second. Papali'i straightens. Papali'i with the footwork. Papali'i. Abraham Papali'i breaks through about 3 tackles and crashes over. So Northcote now push right up against their line. Nathan Newton has powered his way over. They want to crack 40. Latu jumps out, plays Newton short. That is too easy. Tiaho will die on the ball, and that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. It is the Ortex Point Chevalier Pirates 42, North City Reinforcement, Northcote Tigers 0.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Upright Access, the official